Okay, so today, as promised, I'm going to be trying out the new Whizbang and also incorporating the old one. What better way? You know, I always say that in general, like, oh, what better way to try a new expansion for somebody like me who doesn't play a lot anymore, and who certainly, even when I do play, I use a lot of my old school decks that are more suited for wild. So I'm not really using a lot of the new cards, especially standard consideration, because like I'll use them, even whatever I'm using, I'll use it in wild. But well, I guess that applies to Whizbang too, because you can only use it in wild, which I think they should really change that. The old Whizbang that gives you a standard deck, right? It gives me a chance to try standard new cards because I, again, typically wouldn't use them anyway. But the problem is that obviously you can only use it in wild, so that still feeds into sort of the same problem. Games and goodies from the workshop toys have overtaken. Okay, we've seen this. But no, it's the perfect excuse to use it anyway with the new expansion. But what are the chances we get to use it with an expansion that actually has to do with Whizbang 2? But historically, I've always said, you know, it gives you a chance to try the new cards without actually having to craft them or have them and try all sort of the standard deck recipes, which can be pretty good, actually. I infamously or famously, you know, took advantage of the Imp one. I effectively used the Imp, you know, standard deck and got to Legend with that. In the whatever Castle Nathria. It was that good, or I was that good with it, if you want to give me that credit. I love that too. People were saying as I was doing that, because like I wasn't using Whizbang there, I just literally made the Imp deck that was the deck recipe, and I even made it worse because I put in like Galakrond there, because like, oh haha, Galakrond has to do with Imps, right? So just for a theme element to that. But then I end up basically getting the Legend with it. I got to like Diamond something, Diamond 3, and then I could have theoretically still done it, but then I just kind of got bored or whatever. It would have taken too long. You were getting kind of hard stuck at Diamond 3. So first of all, I have to craft both of them. And then there was one other card that I wanted to use. And this would be my first time obviously using the new Whizbang. And you might even think like, oh, how can you use them together? But obviously I'm not gonna be using them together because I'll just sort of alternate between them in my permadeath round robin style that I do with decks usually. Like every episode, because these aren't really too long anyway, that should probably be enough to last it out. I'll basically play as the old Whizbang until it loses a game, and then I'll play as the new one until it loses, and then as a third sort of backup one, I thought I could use a deck that has that one sort of anniversary Innkeeper card, because I never got a chance to use that, so that'll be a backup. But that should probably be enough. I could always rotate back between them again, just like play as one and then switch as soon as you lose, but I wanted it to almost be a finite amount per episode. So you basically do it in such a case that you would look at it like, you know, you go on a 3-game win streak with one and then 2-game win streak with the other. And then it's like, the episode's already over because I don't really play for that long anyway. I don't know why I have to even bother doing this, but just my OCD tendency. So first of all, I have to disenchant a bunch of shit and craft them because I have to... You know, I need 3,200 dust. And of course, I was just using him not too long ago. But, wait, why do you even have to go in there? Why did that not show up? We have a decent amount of gold and stuff, so we can just disenchant my whole collection. Like, just make sure I have enough here. I don't even know what the twist mode is right now because of the simple fact that... Or, I mean, you could effectively get it from this, too, I suppose. This kind of makes it more boring, though, because, you know, you don't get the excitement of buying each one individually, which you could still, of course, do, but would 26 packs be enough to get... That would be so fortuitous, though, if I just get it outright. But this, plus whatever's in my collection, and so I don't know what class I want to do next, but for this next month coming up, and of course today is the end of this month, but I figured I'll start early with it. Going into the next month, like May, or maybe even after that, just depending how long I want to do this one for, I will decide what class I want to do next. And so I was almost thinking Shaman, but I was also almost thinking Death Knight because I want to try the hero card. Damn it, why couldn't it be the legendary that I actually want? But that's still pretty good. But no, I don't just need 1,600 dust, I need 3,200. Yeah, I just used Whizbang a couple months back, like for New Year's, right? But I disenchanted it because I'm a fiend who does that. So it's a perfect example of how I waste the dust that I always, you know, kind of keep shrinking my collection over and over. And then now I'm going to recraft it, then I'll re-disenchant it, then I'll do it again. Like, it's not a very good system of doing it. But Whizbang is one of those transformative I get 2 legendaries, but neither of them are actually the fucking... What even makes him a legendary either? He just looks like one of those base cards that doesn't even have an effect. It just has like a special art to it. Right, like I can't remember, but there was something like that before. Yeah, I'm not even too familiar with what's in this expansion, but I don't even care. I'll just use stuff that's not even in the expansion. True Whizbang in terms of, you know, whatever special shit he gives you, which I don't even know what that is either. I don't know why we always have this card back on. I don't even like it that much, but it's almost one that I associate, like, oh, maybe bots use it because you see a lot of people who have it. Maybe it's people just like it, but... Okay, so this will take a little bit. You would think I should do this before I even start the episode, but I don't really play stuff off stream. Or I did try playing Hearthstone on one of my recorded sessions once, just because I get some other weird setup that I have where I typically just only play chess. But the thing with that is, like, I'm playing on a mobile hotspot, so I tried a game of Hearthstone and it took up like 200 megabytes. So I guess that's not really too bad. Like, I could still get away with playing a game here and there, but I was actually trying to play like the Warcraft TCG on like some, just to try it out on some what do you call it? Oh yeah, these are pretty handy for that purpose too. Why can't you just actually give me Whizbang itself though? You know how much trouble that would save me, but I guess we already missed the boat on that. Or I don't even remember what expansion the other Whizbang came out in. I think it was like the Boomsday Project, maybe it said. It was mentioning that for some reason, like the flavor text or whatever. But no, as a third backup option too, right? So we'll play as old Whizbang, then we'll play as new Whizbang, you know, each until we lose. So we might not even get the chance because we might go on a crazy win streak. In fact, I might be underestimating how well we might do with one of them because, or we could do it another way, like we just alternate. We play one game with one and then go to the next one regardless of outcome, but I'll actually let it ride out. That's actually how I did Whizbang the last time. I said like, oh, I'll just play it till I lose, period. So it lasted like several episodes with me just not losing a single game, but I don't think I did that at the beginning. I played it for like one episode and then I said, then I started it after that, but it still did last a couple episodes, which maybe isn't really that impressive because of the fact that, you know, obviously I wasn't playing like that many games, but it's not surprising that with standard decks you would do a lot better. And that's the whole irony of like, oh, I used that M deck, you know, the standard M deck effectively, but then I was playing in Wild, so I got to Legend and Wild with the standard deck recipe, and it's like, I don't know if that should make it harder or easier. You would think it would make it harder because there's all kind of crazy shit that people put together in Wild that otherwise wouldn't work, but... Okay, dude, hurry up, and it doesn't really matter what I have in my collection. I'll just disenchant all of it, and, you know, we'll have the 3200 dust. So the legendaries that we got are going to be pretty handy here as well, because of course I would have no intention of actually using them, or if I do, I'll just go through all this shit again just to do it. But I did have some desire to use a Death Knight because I discovered a 5/3, just I want to use the new hero card, the first and only one that they've gotten so far. Why couldn't that have been the Ner'zhul and the armor instead of the fucking, at least giving me an avatar of it? First, do some harm. 5/3 and 1 cost minion to stitch to this. Some of them random 5 cost minion. Okay, don't really care. None of these can obviously be disenchanted. I can never really remember what you can and can't do. Or this is where I was trying to fuck around with Druid, but didn't I just do Druid in another capacity too? Like, this is who has been lowering the power level of all those Hearthstone cards in foamly fashion. Lowering the power level? You mean raising and power creeping the shit out of old cards, which I kind of like how Tyrantus is, they give Tyrantus taunt and +2/+2, and they gave, you know, fucking Iron Juggernaut Death Rattle. Like, who is really asking for those things? Kind of like I would be, because I, you know, these are old mechanics that I still keep using in some of my favorite cards, but nobody really gives a shit about stuff like that anyway. After a friendly beast dies, get a random... Don't you love this? This is how every card should be, where it doesn't actually say the text on there, so you can appreciate the art a little bit more, but I don't know when or how they decided to make these things like that. After friendly beast dies, get a random legendary beast from the past. It costs 2 less. Oh, and wait, is he golden or is that just like, I'm not going to use it, but I mean, it is cool, I guess. Or like, what if I wanted to make that then? Could you make it for 1600 instead of that? I don't even understand what that means. Like, why? I don't care. Like, we've already done Druid enough, which we were doing mostly for the elusive shit. So this is like something I didn't even account for. But no, that almost is gonna do it for me right there. I didn't realize that would be 3200 that we were looking at. What other Druid ones could we get rid of? I'm so confused though that I wasn't using this one for... Yeah, this was another kind of gimmick Druid thing I would do a long time ago. Like, you would keep putting the Astral Tiger with the Splinter Graph, right? You would make a copy of that. It's a 3/5, but then it becomes a 10/10. And so even if it costs 10, every time it dies, it becomes basically a better souped up version of Malorn, right? So that becomes a whole nother dynamic to it. Not going to play as mage for probably a while. You'd probably only need like 2 more if you've excavated twice. Don't really care about that, whatever. Wait, wasn't that a shaman deck though that I had? Why? Oh, I guess it's just shared between them. I don't know what they've done with the whole shared class cards, because it's like, after you play a mech, you get a random Mimron's gadgets. See, that's not really one of those exciting transformative mechanics like what we're about to see here. So we're already done. That's all we had to do, and we owe a lot of it to that one stupid ass card that was the Nessingwary one. So Splendiferous Whizbang. You start the game with one of Whizbang's experimental decks. Rainbow, Deck of Wishes. This deck has cards from all classes and spell schools. This deck contains 3, and it's interesting what colors they choose for it too. Like, why is this one green? Like, what does that have to do with anything? This deck contains 3 wishes that give you the perfect card, kind of a Kazakis type theme thing. Wish for the perfect card. Okay, that's just what it looks like. Deck of Discovery. Your deck is filled with cards that discover druid spells and minions. And again, I would love one of those for like every class. Why not just the Discover insert class here? So it could be for any of them or all of them combined. Discover druid spell, druid minion, neutral minion you can afford to play. Deck is full of 2 copies of each, full of 2 copies of legendary cards. Cards in this deck transform into random playable cards each turn while in hand. So it makes it seem like, oh, it's a mage deck or it's a shaman deck, but it doesn't matter what it is. Like, each turn this is in your hand, transform it into a random... Oh, it is mage or neutral card. This deck is heroic. I don't know what the fuck that means. It just has like 30 heroes only. It'll be like a planeswalker only deck in Magic, but that wouldn't really work here. Or maybe it would, as long as it gives you one that lets you summon stuff. But the only one that really meaningfully comes to mind is like fucking, you know, Dr. Boom generating stuff that you can summon, or whatever. You'll go for an Exodia thing with the Paladin one. This deck has 7 copies of Astral Automaton. That one seems kind of like a troll, but, you know, can you get to Legend with these decks, I wonder? And probably you'd have a better chance than doing Renounce or whatever other shit that I've used in the past. This deck has 5 Duel's Treasures in it. That one seems maybe strong. Not that I even know what those are off the top of my head, but your deck has 3 Shaman Quests, which, that's kind of dumb, isn't it? Like, isn't that something you could do anyway? Like, you can just make a shaman deck with 3 quests in there. Like, what the fuck is that? And what is the rest of it? Like, what is in the rest of the deck? Is it other shaman cards, or could it just be anything else? Begin 3 shaman quests. Or I guess it doesn't make it clear that that's what it means, right? It has 3, but it actually has 1. It just plays them all together. And like, why is that even that good? I don't know. That one seems kind of silly. This deck has only 20 cards, but again, what's more important than that is what is in the deck. Like, is it just random Warlock cards? Is it just some sort of theme? Is it something to do with Murlocs? I don't know, right? Like, the size of it is not even that big of a deal. This deck is evil, and it has the warrior eye color for some reason. Like, that's the biggest thing that confuses me about it. Let's make sure we don't accidentally make a gold one like the clown that I am. After his work and boomed it. After his work at Boomsday Labs, he's taken what Dr. Boom has taught him and applied to the most important inventions of all toys. So I certainly can't argue with the fun factor of these cards, or at least this card. Like, it suits right into my favorite sort of, regardless of even what it does. Like, we haven't even seen it in action yet, but it fits into the Renounced category, Exploring Gora, Zendazari, all these cards that I always love and swear by. So it's the perfect timing. Like, I'm going through all these gimmick decks and mechanics of old that I really like. So I've gone through every single class. I went through, you know, Warlock to do Renounced. I went through Warrior to do Exploring Gora, Zendazari. I went through Hunter to try Rexar just for the zombies and Carnasa, whatever sort of fun mechanics I liked. And then I even did Whizbang as a sort of an interlude just to try some of the ones from the last expansion, the Badlands one. So, and then we were doing Elusive for the Druid. So we've done a lot of these gimmick mechanics anyway, so this fits perfectly into it that we get a new one to try. But, you know, it's the sort of thing I would do anyway. Like, would use the old one. Start the game with one of Whizbang's wonderful decks, and he gets obviously the Chillwind Yeti standing for no real reason. He could just be a 0/0. From the prestigious Westfall Wonderfuls. Okay. Yeah, this is a wild card. One of the dumb. Oh, I should have heard the fucking voice on that one. Now I'll have to waste another 1,600 dust or 1,200. So the only other thing I wanted was to say, like, okay, let's just do. It doesn't even matter what it is. Let's just do one particular thing for the dude that is going to be like, what if I put it in there? Okay, you can't. You just have to put it in as a solo card. It could just kind of override whatever else is in there if you really wanted. Like, what is the thing even called? It's like this innkeeper type dude who's going to be like the anniversary. I forget what it even does, but this will be our backup deck. That's just like, I think it costs 6. Yeah, replace your hand with one iconic one from Hearthstone's past, 1 per game. So we could do that as a backup just in case. Although I kind of don't want to give it that class identity either. Like, we could fit it in here actually, since this is like a different version of a Druid deck that we were using that we didn't get the chance to use. So what is this? It's like combining both Cthuns in some sort of weird gimmicky way that doesn't even make sense because there's not enough of them in there. There's 2 Beckoners of Evil. I don't even know why that's in there. But no, this was like a stall, annoying armor build sort of deck before that was even a thing that you could really do. Yeah, the Cthulhu thing seems kind of almost weird here. Let's actually just get rid of a Beckoner of Evil, but maybe you can't because then whatever you're trying to do with Cthulhu won't be enough, right? You get +3/+3, +2/+2. You got to at least get it up to a 10, whatever. So we'll do this with the stupid ass Innkeeper dude. And then at that point, we will use that as the ultimate backup. So we still managed to fit Druid into here because that's what I was doing basically this whole month, or even last month. I extended it. I was doing the elusive form of Druid. I completely forgot about this one even, so we'll give it some love as well. So let's just do these 3. In fact, we have exactly enough room. We'll even do this at Druid too, not that it matters. Or I was doing it as Death Knight just as a gimmick almost because, you know, oh, this is a new class that you couldn't have used it with before, Whizbang. So this is the regular Whizbang, and then we'll do the new Whizbang. So we'll actually save that for second, just because I am kind of still anticipating playing it for the first time. Right here. Why does Vandar have to sort of photobomb us here? We want the Whizbangs to be right next to each other. Fuck. Okay, so we get 1, 2, 3, right? It would be... I forgot you can even do this where you can move them around like that. So we'll just go in order to, you know, see how long we last with each one. And again, I have no problem. Let's see if we can actually use them in the twist mod. That would be even more fun. Of course, we can't use any of them. What is it for? Replay 10 years of... Oh, this is the same one, though. But it's about to end. Starting with Legacy, so you could just use something super recent right now, right? You could use a standard deck, such as one that Whizbang would give you. But because Whizbang himself is a wild card, that's fucking stupid. So Here we go. That was actually a lot easier to make this happen than I thought. I thought I would struggle somehow with the dust. But whatever stupid ass 1600 we got from that Hammett Nessingware kind of saved us. I love how many different versions of the same card they end up giving you. The one thing I don't like is it doesn't indicate anywhere that this is... it doesn't indicate anywhere that this is actually a... This card can be really annoying, the cube. That this is Whizbang that I'm using, right? It should still show you that interaction, like how it shows Malcazar or something at the beginning of a game. So let's try to understand what we're trying to do here. Obviously, priests are not one of my favorite classes. Priests and rogues are definitely... Oh, look at that. How did he get that? Damn, that looks sick, actually. What the fuck? Let me actually look this up. Hearthstone, 10-year card back. Unlike the 10-year anniversary card back. Let me guess. I must have missed it somehow. In Hearthstone 10-year anniversary, Blizzard special card back. Read on the instructions how to earn the card back. You must play 10 games of Hearthstone. Special request doesn't specify which game you do get out in. Earn progress in anything. 10-year anniversary available as of March 11th. Wait, but I've already... How have I not played 10 games? Or maybe I got it and I just didn't realize it. Draw a Death Rattle minion from your deck. I think I probably already have it somewhere, but... That's how they should have done the Legend Rank 1. Like, just a Legend card back that looks a little better than the normal one that has a number 1 in the middle of it. But, oh wait, you wouldn't be able to see the middle, so that's why it has to be at the bottom, working around the shitty cardback design that they never show the whole thing. But, that, and they should have always had a Wild Legend one that looks kind of like the Ungoro cardback, as I sort of stipulated. Let's see here. Loot Hoarder. I mean, some of this stuff you might question, like why you really have it in here, but that's the whole fun of it. You got to kind of make the best of what you have. It's sort of like a dynamic arena draft scenario in a way. Or Renounced Darkness is kind of more like that, but whatever. You just get something and you have to make the best of it, and it's not like our opponents here should be that good anyway, which is why we went on such a good win streak with it before when we tried to do this in... Use a friendly minion, summon a copy of 1 health remaining. You know, sometimes you just gotta play it slow a little bit, but it just doesn't suit me to do this. Not that I'm an aggressive player, but I feel uncomfortable with this kind of board, but this is exactly what you have to do as a priest, is just kind of clown it up and wait like a super long time. If you cast any spells on this minion, resummon it. Master Cloner. So you gotta just get to the point where you actually get something good out here, but you know, it's gonna be too expensive to be able to combo that with something. Okay, we might have to do something like that here. 5 or more attack. Like, he's not doing enough here to really justify me playing something crazy. Summon a couple big things, then I'll use my Psychic Stream. Yeah, how could I have not played 10 games with all that druid shenanigans fucking shit that I did? Or like, what, did I maybe re-roll the quest like the moron that I am? At the end of your turn, deal 1 damage to all. Okay. So many of these things I haven't seen in so long. Summon a 5/5 Devil Star. I mean, I guess. 1 copy of it, 1 health remaining. That's cute. That one deck triggered the shit out of me when I was doing the ladder on Wild there. And like, that was a while ago, like a year and a half now almost. September 2022. But I kept seeing that one over and over, the priest one that revived Neptulon over and over, and that was the only minion in their deck, and there was nothing I could do about it. It's just like one of those spam revival decks where you only have 1 minion and it's really strong, and it's Neptulon who summons the fucking arms along with him, right? So what are you supposed to do? Like... And I'm surprised I didn't see it further on the ladder, like, oh, maybe other decks counter it, but I couldn't counter it no matter what I did. Like, I guess I was just only using 1 deck the whole time, like the Imp one, but still. It was just so triggering. And then we saw another one like that with the armor guy. They keep summoning the 8/8 who gives you 8 armor when it dies over and over. And so like there's nothing I could do there. I would need like the fucking plate breaker in my deck. Anti-meta plate breaker for a priest though instead of a warrior. This is not as bad as it seems though. Like we're not going to lose this shit, dude. We got a long way to go with Whizbang. That actually helps me. I mean, Psychic Scream would actually do it for you. It really would, because, you know, I got nothing. I got nothing. Look how annoying of a card that is. Like, even though I'm the one who's playing it and benefiting from it, like, what the fuck is that? How uninteractive is that? And it plays around all my cheeky little things that I do too, like death rattles and whatever I might have, like elusive, evasive. I work so hard to get board control, and that's what you do to me? Like, this is where I'm objective. Like, I can talk shit about priest even though I am the priest. Hey Nightmare, how's it going? No, we got to go on a crazy win streak with this dude because, oh no, what the fuck? No, you can't do that. Okay, we can destroy it, but now I'm really worried. Like, I don't have a, what the fuck? Am I gonna lose to the goddamn, this little imp dude here? That doesn't even matter. Like, that's not gonna save me. Damn it. Am I really gonna lose like this in my first game? Like, I want to see the other newer Whizbang too, but don't do it to me like this. Come on, come on. But he can life tap too. At least give me a heal, man. What kind of priest are you? That's often what you actually see a lack of, is the priests not healing themselves. You'll have a lot of heals for your minions, but don't do it to me, bro. Don't do it to me. Yeah, that shows you how little I play, that you know, you end up, holy shit, I'm gonna lose to a vulgar homunculus. I haven't been this nervous about a homunculus since King Bradley from fucking Full Metal Alchemist. Look, dude. I'm nervous about this because he'll probably have a way to deal with that, but what can you do? We'll just bring her within the threshold of being able to... I kind of forgot about the whole Amara effect too. I mean, that would be perfect for now, but... this is kind of bonkers, dude. This would be a clutch win if we can do it, but it'd probably be pretty easy for him to deal with this. Or at least if you attack into my shit. Obviously, that's going to heal me a lot. Wow, look how we got so lucky here. But that Psychic Scream was such a troll, man. Okay, now if you keep making copies of this, you'll be in great shape. Or I almost want to do this too. Like, why don't we just... after you summon a minion, trigger a death rattle effect. Or let's just do this and then we'll do it, because I don't care even if I'm damaging it. As long as I get to... I mean, we could do that too, which I almost shouldn't get too complacent and not do it, but... that's good enough. Like, now there's no chance of him winning, because... if the game drags out long enough, that's your win condition. Just literally muck the game up and draw it out. What does it sound like I'm talking about, right? Chess. You just kind of drag it out and get a draw every time if you really want. Like, speaking of chess, what I predicted last year was that Ding Liren would choke, and I was right, but then he still won. So then people were clowning me for that. Psychology expert predicts the outcome. So now this year I'm saying that no matter who he plays, he's gonna lose. Right, he could play anybody from the candidates because it was such a fluky win. This is actually pretty satisfying now that you get to, you know, escape from the brink of death and heal the shit out of yourself. But obviously my deck was probably better than his because these standard decks are all power creeped out. Okay, now we got to see like what actual, like what death rattle are we? Okay, he gets the point, but he got me very, very low, so that's at least something to be concerned with. The grand opening, play 10 games. I'm kind of curious about that now. Like, how did I not get that already if... I'm so confused. You can't... it's not a daily quest, first of all, but... like, let's try to play 10 games right now, even though that would take me all fucking night to do. I kind of want to, actually, but... and they'll all be with this Whizbang too. Or you could just concede out. Couldn't you? Like, wouldn't that still count? It doesn't say you have to win 10 games. Whatever, let's see how long we can last. Please don't give me a priest again. Give me some variety. Although for all I know, it might give me a rogue and all. What the fuck? Or wouldn't that be fun if that's how Whizbang worked? Like, you play as the same one if you just won as them? So it's like a internal Whizbang permadeath. Like, why the fuck do you have Loot Hoarder in here though, dude? There must be some deeper meaning. It's not like, oh, it's just some shitty standard deck, because, you know, there is sort of a rhyme and reason to it. This is the only way you can get me to use something standard or meta, is if it's still in a fun, dynamic way that I can't control or I'm not going to choose. Sort of the same principle of like why I hate opening theory and stuff. It's like, I just want to experiment and do my own little thing. I don't want to always do the same thing everyone else is doing, even if or because it's objectively the best thing to do, which even that itself is debatable, because you can always experiment around, and with a card game especially, it's never a sure thing like that. Okay, hurry up, dude. Yeah, Amara would have been a lifesaver there, literally, but I didn't even need her at that point. Not really something I've used a whole lot. And not even really something that feels like it should be standard. This should be a wild card that's no longer playable, but for some reason they change shit around where, you know, whatever, it can be sort of considered a classic or base card, basically, that you can use at any time. The only ones that should be true with are like super old cards, like the, you know, original classic cards or something like that. I don't know how they've just so randomly done it over time. But no, we're going to be picking on either bots or just low-rated players who are garbage somehow. You're playing Need for Speed right now. Which one? Like one of the newer ones? I don't think I've ever really played any of those games. I think I played it once as a kid when I went to somebody's house. There's all like these nostalgic memories I have with that. Like I played Donkey Kong 64 at somebody's house, and I really liked it. Although I think it was with my own thing. Like we brought it there and played it. Right, Donkey Kong 64, and then I played Sonic at somebody's house. I remember that. I think I remember seeing or playing a Need for Speed game when I was a kid at somebody's house. Road Ready Streetwise, am I right? You're playing an old one for 2013? Oh, cool. Does it have better driving mechanics than GTA 5? I hate the driving because they made it too, like too easy, where every car feels like way too good. Right? That's the one thing that GTA 4, even though it had issues with driving, it sort of delineates the worst cars from the better ones, at least. That bug was so weird when my mic was just kind of scratching, and I didn't notice it for like 5 minutes. The stupid ass thing when I was playing PvZ on Friday. Thank goodness Nightmare told me, but like, I don't even know how that happened. It's like my stream crashed and then it caused the mic to fuck up like that. Okay, let's see what we can do here. It wouldn't be a big deal to get rid of this one, and it wouldn't be a big deal to do that, but I don't even need to do it because I don't even really want to do that either. It's like, why would I want to give it more health? He's not really posing much of a threat. What I want to give it is attack, so I can actually sack it or trade it into something. I love that one Death Knight one that I had that was actually considered meta for a brief time, where you use like the old Nerubian egg with the yodeler with the some other death rattle. That was actually fun because it was like hard committing to the idea so much. You think Need for Speed is easier to drive? It has faster cars though, and that makes it difficult to space police. Or what was that other game? Test Drive Unlimited. That's the Chris Smoove special where he would use that in his NBA 2K intros. Back when he really went above and beyond with his content, he would like show himself driving around as if he was driving to the game in NBA 2K, but it's a completely different game. It's kind of a pretty obscure one that not too many people know about. Yeah, I'll do a playthrough of Road Ready Streetwise from back in the day. I don't know why I just found that so hilarious as a kid. It's like to try to teach you how to drive, but it's completely off the fucking wall and wouldn't be instructive at all. It'd be like trying to learn how to play chess from watching me play. Let's just put it that way. Okay, we can do the stupid cube, but what does it matter? Destroy friendly minions, summon 2 copies of it. I guess this is fine. Like, it's not the ideal. I'm trying to be like super troll with it. Like, you know, super troll with how I use the cube. There's some warlock interaction I remember with it that was super annoying, like void doing to a void lord. What if you did it to itself then? I don't even know. It would destroy it, then it would summon 2 copies of itself doing the same effect as itself. That's something you see in Magic a lot. It's like infinite loop interactions that almost sort of break the game, or you can just do it forever. Yeah, there's so many great series that I've never played, but I kind of like that in a way that I sort of save it almost. It's not that I don't like it, or that I don't think I would like it. It's that I, you know, you're not in a rush to do it. Even series that I like, I sort of hold off on, like Zelda. Like, I've never beaten Super Mario Galaxy. There's so many great games that I could get around to, which would be nice if I'm, you know, had extra time. I would love to do them on stream. Like, that's all I really play on now. If I have time to stream, or if I have time to play something, I may as well do it on stream. That's the whole luxury that I look at it like. But the problem is when you have as little time as I do now, oh shit, we get to even see the hypothetical interaction I was talking about. Now you should get those 2, but then you'll get them again from this. Well, that is cute, but I mean, you would still want that shit to trigger. I mean, hey, I'll take it. This deck is actually pretty good. But no, if I had to choose between Elder Scrolls 6 and GTA 6, I'd take Elder Scrolls any day. You could say it's, oh, just like RPGs or whatever, but even like comparing Skyrim to GTA 5, Skyrim blows it out of the water because the replay value is so strong. Unless you're talking about GTA Online, which I get is how people look at it a lot, or GTA RP and all these other things. The single player didn't really make me want to come back to it. Like, there's nothing to really do, and I hate to be that guy who's like, oh, you know, you played it like 50 hours the first week it came out and beat it and said, oh, there's nothing to do. But it doesn't use its open world very well. Like, there's no vigilante missions, there's nothing. Like, there's nothing to really do that's actually interesting or challenging or like a good repeatable combat core gameplay experience. I think that is fair to say, and part of that is their desire to force you to play online and buy fucking shark cards like the clowns that they are. But with 1 health remaining, and then you could also destroy it too. We're kind of clowning this dude all the way through. Now we're gonna beat you to death with the cubes, and even if you try to kill them. So I love this sort of moment of like, oh, just play. I mean, he could like devolve them. That's always, you know, effectively a silence too. But like, oh, just play around it by not attacking them, not killing them, but then you'll just get destroyed. Like, what are you supposed to do? Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Okay, so we'll get the little eggs here, which again, we'll get the cubes first. Wait, I'm confused even what's happening now. We'll get the cubes, then we'll get the eggs from the cubes, or I don't even know, but whatever. Like, it's gonna be a troll. Trolling with a deck that I didn't even make, or that I don't even really understand either. But the problem with this now is you're not even gonna have room to do this shit. I'm gonna get sort of overconfident and fuck something up. After you summon a 1-cost minion, that's fine. Those should technically cost 2 because they cost 2 to make it. Like, it's a 1-cost minion that costs you 2, you see? It makes perfect sense. Like, normally that's how things will be treated, too. As whatever. Oh, should deal 7. But, I mean, you'll still get a lot of shit back. Or, I guess not that much. That's fine, that's fine. And then we get to just do this. We don't have the sexy death rattles as much anymore, at least. You can save Amara as long as you want. You don't really have to do anything too crazy with this. You make a 5/5 copy, which I don't even want to do. Psychic Scream is obviously a godsend. that saved us last time. Yeah, that is an interesting way to start. That we start with talking about underplayed class round robin. It's trying to force me to play the class that I didn't play enough over the whole history of this game. My second least played class ever, which is obviously Rogue would be the least played, but that one just doesn't. Mega Wind Fury, huh? Walking Mountain. Okay, so you should just lose here, or you'll be fucking one short because I have no way to actually buff anything's attack. Oh, don't do it to me like that. Just to keep doing this, I guess, to keep it alive, but I haven't really seen that interaction play out at all. Or I should have healed it and tried to heal something and tried to see. But no, I guess I couldn't have, because no, I could have made a copy of something else and then healed it to try to fish for lethal, but it should be fine. If he wins now, then he deserves it. But no, that's my whole objection to stuff like GTA 5, that it shows you, even as great as it is and mechanically and everything like that, they sort of castrated a bit just to buffer up the multiplayer, which I hate that dynamic. Or yeah, you missed my epic gameplay of Chivalry Nightmare, as I just did the same free-for-all mode because nobody was actually playing like an actual proper map or game mode. It doesn't seem like they really changed it all that much. Well, not that I remember how it was too clearly, but... Derek, Master Cloner, so if you cast any spells or resummon it, and that's just a permanent effect that's gonna last forever. I mean, we obviously win. You must be a bot, because nobody else would play on for this long. But no, it'd be awesome if we got on like an actual 10-game win streak with this, just to get our fucking stupid-ass card back. Defective. And it wouldn't be that surprising either, because... well, we're not going to be so lucky as to always get Priest, though, so we have to... not that I even like Priest, but... 2 out of 10. But I mean, between these three, surely we would be able to do it. Like, we'll use the other souped-up Whizbang, and then we'll use the other... whatever random deck, our other Druid gimmick deck, but featuring that Innkeeper card. Okay, Warrior is one of my actual favorite classes in the game, but oh, should we get Dr. Boom? How is this? I'm confused. How is this even a standard deck if I thought that's a wild card for sure? I'll even keep it because it's such a good transformational card. How the fuck is that in a standard rotation? Not that I'm complaining, but I thought that was phased out a long time ago. They just randomly decide to put cards into the standard playable stuff just for the fuck of it. Like, why not just have everything be playable like a properly designed game would be? Like, you shouldn't need to hide behind, oh, this illusion of balance for the last 2 years of stuff, even though that stuff is objectively stronger than the older stuff. Therefore, it wouldn't feel bad if you use older stuff, but then somebody will come up with some broken interaction because it's like, oh yeah, we got to make everything balanced by letting you use the most recent power creep stuff that might be busted, even though, you know, using older stuff shouldn't be a threat to you. Snake oil, more like what people talk about in chess to try to teach you, like, oh, it's so easy to learn, or just do this one technique, one strategy that everybody always has. Okay, so here we have the ability to obviously do this, fine with me. I don't think that armor is going to be that big of a deal, but it doesn't hurt. Yeah, let's try to think of some other nostalgic memories like that, where I played something at somebody else's house. I got like a strategy guide for Ocarina of Time before I'd ever gotten the game at somebody's house, and they just let us keep it. We were so fascinated by the book, you know, just the strategy guide of it, that almost what made me get it in the first place. Like, that's a very strange reason to, you know, want to buy a game, but just the pictures and everything about it, wow, this game looks so cool. Or like there's this weird story where like I had a NES or whatever, and then it broke, so then because of that I got some newer system. So there's a perfect excuse. What the fuck is this? So if it hadn't had broken, then I wouldn't have been able to... Well, what a perfect thing we had as an answer anyway, but... Imagine losing to this though, dude. Okay, that's fine. We'll get a little more armor if he does kill it, so we're getting pretty good value from this. We ought to be scared of this dude though, because he's a fucking legend card back, which nobody ever uses because it just looks ugly, or everybody has it. Obviously, who would want it? Certainly by now. Get all 3 animals, but no, there should definitely have been a different one for Wild, and there should have also been a different one for Legend Rank 1. Both of the ideas already exist in the game. Take the Hearthstone Anniversary card back and just take out the 0, so it's 1 instead of 0, to represent Legend Rank 1 instead of 10, and then they could also use the Ungoro card back as the Wild one, because it looks very much like that with the vines and the even the orange thing in the middle.
What now?
Okay, so you can just do can't really use the weapon super well, or if you do, then I shouldn't have. Certainly not Legend Rank players. I shouldn't have summoned that until I had already done that. So I don't know what the fuck the point of that was. Or, oh no, we'll have some synergy that's like... I mean, this is the kind of thing I would use anyway, because he's a pretty fun card, although I wish he just had that Discover a mech every single turn, because that ends up being the best one, but the 7 armor isn't bad either. Gonna have some crazy long game shit, which is exactly what hunters are all about, am I right? But at this point, that would be like some gamer actual fucking thing that somebody would get. It's like some sort of PS controller theme just because they're a fan of dogs or whatever in real life. Actual real life cosmetic. Deal 1 damage, okay. RC how? Nobody gives a shit, hurry up. But what you don't get to do here is you don't get to show off your cosmetics for the hero and stuff, I don't think, because... Right, like if I had one saved as my favorite warrior or something, would it default to that one if Whizbang chooses it? I don't feel like it does. Okay, we got magnetic, we got this, whenever it takes damage, that one will save. End of your turn, deal 1 damage to all other characters. I mean, he's not putting much pressure, so I guess for now we can just wait it out. And then we can even deal damage to that on purpose with this guy, but I just want to get this dude out there, the Dr. Boom. Give me the Iron Juggernaut from your effect, which I would always love when I was playing the Iron Juggernaut deck anyway, because then it would just give me an extra one. You can't really rely on that, obviously, but... +3/+3. When it dies, summon a chameleon, okay. Still fine, I guess. The chameleon would be like the same thing, I guess? How am I even supposed to know? It doesn't even tell you what that is. Like, I assume I know what that means, but... Draw, death, rattle, rush, blah, blah, blah. I kind of just want to do this fucker, though. Even if it puts me at a little more disadvantage, it's just such an important play. Then we can really turn it into something as we go on. Yeah, look how intense and epic this is going to be at fucking bronze rank 10, 9, these kind of matchups. But again, it doesn't guarantee what your opponent's matchup is. Why would you even do that? You could have hit me in the face with that afterwards, like... Okay, he's kind of overcommitting a bit. Give me a fucking brawl or something, which I assume would be in here. Okay, it doesn't bother me really that much. We have the AoE capability here. In addition to this, so everything would get hit for 2, right? That would be good. And so I don't know, like that might be the best we can really do for now, which is really not very good. That's a warrior's attempt to do a fucking AoE. I mean, I'm not too happy about this. I maybe should have tried to do that, but you wouldn't have been able to play it. So I might just lose on the spot now, unless you have some crazy AoE that I'm gonna get. Yeah, look at the sustainability of a hunter at this day and age. Like, it doesn't feel... This would be like the most extreme control hunter imaginable, but it's not even probably control. It's like, this is just the way that it works. There's nothing I really could have done there that meaningful either. Or maybe I should have just tried... Oh, I'm just dead. Okay, I'll accept that. Maybe I could have done something a little better, but that was at least a worthy matchup. Let's try the new Whizbang for the first time here, and that picture is really quite expressive. His teeth are way more pronounced in this one. And then we'll go as this one as many times as it lasts, and then we'll go as the other one, and hopefully we'll win 7 games in a row to be able to actually get to the 10 here. I'm actually kind of wanting to get that now, even though I imagine I would already have it. I must have just not paid attention on the other thing.
You asked for it.
Okay, Warlock, but it's not the same as the standard Whizbang thing there. If your deck is empty, now I don't see why it's going to be empty, because when this is played or discarded, played, discarded, or destroyed, draw 2 cards. Cost 1 while your deck has 10 or fewer cards. Okay, so none of that is really going to come into play for a while. Nearer Fireblade's the guy who's outside like Ragefire Chasm and shit, isn't he? Okay, at least this one acknowledges that that's what you're getting. Only has 20. Oh, that's why it could be good, but still. So you get what the theme is. But look at the bottom of your deck. Just draw 1 and destroy the other. Sure. Pawn, death rattle, both players draw 2, discard 2. Has +2. Okay, fine. Rin, Orchestrator of Doom. I mean, it's kind of unfortunate though, because you'll summon 6/6/6s, but then you'll just lose the game. So like, you know what I mean? What the fuck is that? It's not gonna be enough. They'll have a million ways to deal with it. Has +2 attack during your opponent's turn. Fine. What you got here is just draw 2 cards, Pot of Greed. At the end of your turn, destroy the bottom 3 cards of your deck. Like, I like what this is going for, but I mean, look, dude. I don't know if it's really worth it. You're just not going to be able to win like this. Both players draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards, and destroy top 2 cards of their deck. And I don't have a choice really but to play like this. This is the whole theme gimmick, you know, spirit in myself, that I would almost make something like this. It doesn't matter whether it works or not, but like, you're doing it your way, so you're already down to that point. But again, is this value going to be worth it? Because he's going to outlast me. It doesn't matter how good you think these things are. Like, he's going to fucking outvalue me anyway. This doesn't feel like a really new deck, because it feels like, oh, this is old news. 1 mana 6/6. What do you think this is? This is 2024, dude. That's old shit. That's not going to help you at all. It's got to be 0, and it's got to have a crazy effect, and it's got to be, you know, just juiced out. So now you still don't even want to do it, because if your deck is empty, open a portal that fills your board with 3/2 empty each turn. And again, as cute as that is, it's not going to... Well, I guess you're getting the value a little early, because like, it is only turn 4, but surely they'll still have a way to deal with it. That's the problem. So you can do like this into this. No, wait. This into this into... I don't even know. But it is an amazing level of commitment that we have here. But no, it doesn't tell you anything about the deck itself. It tells you, like... You really think that's your strategy though? Like, just to ignore? Maybe that is, actually. Because I shouldn't deal with this board either, but... Wait. Oh, are you serious? If your deck has 10 or fewer cards, deal 6 damage to a minion. Okay, I really didn't like the Quillbar archetype per se. Look at the bottom 3 cards. This card costs equal to the amount of cards in your deck. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Zero. This is modern Hearthstone. Didn't I just call that? Oh, it has to be a 0 mana 15/15 with lifesteal and taunt. That's what I just said. That's actually good value. 1 mana 6/6 is fucking dog shit, dude. What do you think this is? 2015? Holy shit. Don't you love that? I've never seen this card before in my life, but I mean, look, dude. Okay, now you're in dire straits because, damn, I actually love this though. Because it's so hard to commit. Like, either you know what you're doing. Like, either it's gonna work or it's not, but you're gonna fucking really schlong them with it. You cannot escape the gimmick of it. I mean, that you're just fucked, dude. You're just fucked. And there's nothing to hold back for. Like, oh, I'm gonna wait. Wait for what? There's nothing left. Like, you have this one. This one's not really that good because the problem is that it's a one-time effect. So, I mean, now this is fine because it won't cause you to over-fatigue anything. Deal 5 damage. I mean, you should just be dead. Like, that's it. Wait. Oh, don't tell me, dude. Don't tell me. But you're barely going to be able to kill this. And that lifesteal is actually pretty important because that's going to... This just shows you what power creep is. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, I understand that it's a lot of work to get your deck to this point. Although here, Whizbang's doing most of the work for me. But that was a highly entertaining matchup. Holy shit, dude. Yeah, it's like, I don't even need to make my gimmick theme decks anymore. He's just going to do them for me because that's exactly what that was. That's such a hard commit idea. And they can keep adding to these or changing them or whatever, but imagine if one of mine would be in there. Like, one of these is where every elusive minion in the game is in there. And it's like, wow, who would have ever thought of that idea? Also, I've been doing that for the last several years, but there weren't that many when I started doing it, like many, many years ago. Okay, Hunter I wouldn't be that big a fan of, but...
Fight with honor. Let the hunt begin.
Oh, this is... Wait. So this is one that has like 2 of each. I don't know if you really want that, but they're all 3 costs, so I guess I can't argue with it. This must be the one that has 2 of each legendary, because... And that means it must only have legendaries? Yeah. So when it shows the color, that actually is relevant, I guess, because you are actually a hunter only, which this you could expand this whole thing where you take the core idea, but instead of only this being hunter, it could be for any class, right? And so you copy the same theme.
Greetings, traveler.
Okay. So that's always kind of a bullshit card that I never liked because it's kind of too... It would appear in like every kind of deck ever just because it's so strong, not because there's any deeper meaning or value to it. Deal 1 damage to all enemies, which I really should have saved that because you have 2 of the other one, but I guess we're just playing it just to play it at this point.
By the holy light, astounding.
Fuck. This guy's deck doesn't seem particularly good though if he's panicking like that. Counter the next minion he plays, I guess, or something. Fine.
By the holy light.
It's not like I'm doing anything really all that impressive. Resurrect all friendly beasts that cost 5 or more, which we haven't gotten any yet, but this could be pretty fun. I mean, this is Total Biscuit's whole idea of like all, you know, when he did it early on in the game. Let's have a deck with 30 legendaries in there. Of course, the fact that it's, you know, 2 copies of each is interesting. You often won't even notice that, I feel like, because, you know, you're not always going to get them together. It's just that opening hand sort of misrepresented that, oh, you know, we start with two of them, and then even the other ones are, you know, 2 Acid Maws, but even you get Dreadscale, so that almost makes it seem like a pair that way too. Okay, so he's used a lot of his AoEs already though. Let's just stick it to him that way, showing you the number 2 that I was just talking about. It's not a play that you would ever normally be able to do, so at least here you would know that it's Whizbang. But no, this one does announce that it's Whizbang too. But I guess it would be obvious because a lot of these decks and cards wouldn't even be like a real thing that you could do together or whatever. 5 or more doesn't really matter to me.
Our gift of the arcane enlightens us.
And if there's 8, but I don't want to do it yet then.
Unity. Precision.
Okay, we'll save those other 2, but I almost want the other dread scale too. So I kind of wasted it to the extent that you could have done 2, you know, give him taste of his own medicine. You could have done 2 equality consecrate equivalent plays with that. Yeah, that was kind of weird that we got priest twice in a row there at the beginning.
Well met.
Okay, shuffle the prime into your deck. You can go ahead and do this one. Or we get that synergy as well. Ability to play both of them together. This is gonna be fucking stupid, bro. We'll play those 2 back to back. Of course, that was thanks to Thracian too. Yeah, +2, +6. I mean, it seems like we're sort of outclassing him with our deck, which I don't know how much credit I really deserve for that, but an enemy minion takes damage, resurrect 5 or more. Just do that.
Unity. Precision.
Okay, so what are we trying to do? You can do 5, 6, 7. You got the stupid little Stegodon thing. You got this one. So this should be pretty easy, I guess. That's kind of a sad commentary that when you do better with these kind of decks, whether it be the Whizbang standard ones or these special ones, than I do with my normal decks that I use, because I'm just using completely garbage gimmicky things. Even though these ones are sort of gimmicky too, it's just, you know, somehow it's still at least a little better. Not saying you can get the legend with it or something, but maybe you can, who knows. Okay, go like this. And you know it's gonna, or no, it's not guaranteed to only hit the board, but that at least saves me from, and I could do it again here, that saves me from having to trade anything in at least. I hear you like Astalor, so I summon Astalor, so I can summon Astalor, so I can summon Astalor, so I can summon another one. I mean, you're just dead basically now. You would never guess that I have another one, even though I just showed the fact that I have another one. And that heal didn't even do shit for you either. Fill your opponent's hand with bananas. That was the card that I was actually going to make just to sort of troll people. Oh, I didn't even think I had lethal necessarily all the way, but that was kind of a pretty crazy victory there. Okay, so that was a good showing for the first souped up Whizbang one, or I mean that wasn't even the first one, but these have been pretty fun, and there's such a variety of them too, like there's a lot. But yeah, I would just expand upon them to where you don't restrict them in terms of class, so you can do sort of the same theme to it, like, oh, you have 2 of each legendary and you have like only legendaries, but it's it can be any class. It doesn't just have to be hunter. Cover a spell from another class. Cover a copy of a card your opponent played this game. I don't know if you really want that because it's kind of more a late game play. After your attack, summon a 1-road pirate. I'm not really sure what you're looking for with this deck, and I'm not really much of a rogue fan myself, but let's try to figure it out. 5 Jules treasures in it. Okay, that's always a good element, even though the deck itself might have nothing to do with that. It'll just be some random pirate deck or something. Summon 20 minions, okay. That's not really that big of a deal. It's just like you buff stuff, I guess. Yeah, isn't that the best like identity crisis thing? A class that's all about getting cards from other classes, which I guess priests are kind of like that a little bit too. Just, you know, thought steal type shit. That's not going to be relevant. You could coin out, but there's nothing to really coin out. You one damage all minions, discover a card from another class. You're holding a dragon. I mean, this like maximum RNG aspect that I don't really find too enjoyable. As far as the innate class, I don't mind the RNG if Whizbang giving me whatever fucking deck he wants, but just let's avoid priests and rogues as much as possible. But I guess it's a good excuse to do it nonetheless. 2/1/1 whelps. We'll just do that. And go before 2 sword, give a minion in your hand +2/+4. Store 3 health. Deal 3 damage to all enemies, cost 1 less for each other card in your hand. There's no real reason why I should have to do that though.
A tango, a tango.
It's like there's something insular about the way rogues play that I just don't find fun. It's like, I don't know, it's very specific things, or I mean combos in the literal sense, but the combo mechanic isn't too bad. It's just, I just have never really liked them. I don't know. Yeah, that's not a big deal. That's also fine. But what do I really want to do is the question. Do 1 damage would be probably pretty worth it. Right, that works out pretty well as far as the curve. Maybe we'll get a chance to play that innkeeper thing, or maybe we'll just go on a crazy streak with this. But no, I won't even hold it against the other Whizbang that we lost at, because I obviously, whatever, like we were going against a legend ranked player that, haha, he was using his card back, as if anybody else we're going against couldn't be. After you play a 1 cost card, you get a copy that costs 0. I mean, I guess I could do that. I almost want to do this, but
How long can you hold you?
okay, so you can do that. You can do it again. I could do the fucking Pharaoh's War Mask, but I don't know if I really see the point. He'll do 1 again, and then that's fine, and he'll be kind of pressured to try to kill the chick here. This is dragging out a little ways, which I'm not the biggest fan of. Trigger Death Rattle. This is going to be... Really, you're gonna beat me with just Explorer's Hat? Okay, discover swap for another class. Plus 3 less. Discover swap for another class. Okay, let's just rely on these. RNG is fun. Deal 2 damage, restore 5 health. Draw a card if it's a beast, cost 4 less. Give Minion Divine Shield. Let's try the other clown here too. Oh, you saw the Chivalry mod? Yeah, it wasn't really super exciting or anything crazy anyway, but refresh 2 mana crystals. How would this work in terms of the summon 2 bats, give them +1/+2? How does this even work? Yeah, you can just play it, right? Because it's not like you have to construct your deck in any other meaningful way. You could destroy that. I'm not really too sure actually what to do. Let's just do this and then we can trade into there. Draw a card, deal damage equal to its cost. Guess I'll take a chance, but a lot of these things I have are not really going to be low cost anyway. Do I like Stanfield game? What is that? Okay, Holy Wrath isn't going to be too crazy here. What else do we got? I mean, it's all just so random. Like, why would you even want to play like this? I haven't played it yet, actually. I'm sure I would like it because I usually like Bethesda games, but people were trash talking it a lot as far as bugs and whatnot upon release, which I'm sure is justified, but still. It's always like the perfect mediocrity argument that I say, like, I'd rather a company or somebody try to do something right. Like, you could either make a perfect mediocrity and play it safe, or you could try to go above and beyond and try to, even if your reach exceeds your grasp, I'd rather you try too hard and fuck up because you can't handle it, rather than to not try hard enough or to play it safe. So that's why I always like I guess I could do that, yeah. Let me see. There's nothing really going on that's gonna be an AoE.
So many options.
Am I really gonna lose like this, dude? Transform into an 8/8. But will the 8/8 have rush too? Because I don't know what the fuck else to do with this. Do this. It won't do anything there. None of these really have crazy effects or anything, but I still don't feel too safe about this. Deal 2 damage. I don't know, this is kind of weird how he's able to be in such a good spot here like this. He's just got channel points to blow, so he's trying to put them to use. Yeah, I have to update that though too. Kind of running out of ideas for what to even put on there, but Starfield is a Minecraft of space. Yeah, but that's kind of fun. Or like a better version of No Man's Sky or something of the sort, I suppose. Or it's like Fallout in space or Skyrim in space. I'm sure it's not even like Minecraft in that sense. Like it won't be as free form as far as crafting and stuff. Potion seller. Remember that time I did that potion seller meme video that I forget even I did like a parody of it, and even though it itself feels like a parody, but I can't remember exactly what it was. It was like very, I don't even remember. Choose a minion, fill your board with the 1/1 copies of it. What's this death rattle? Add the fucking hat. Battle cry isn't really gonna do anything. I mean, that's cute, I guess. We'll keep getting the fucking stupid ass hat a million times over. Unique, just like everyone else, but for now, it actually is unique because nobody else is gonna be using this shit. Or I mean, they probably will for the fun of it. Discover, collect, build, explore planets, and discover the fauna, flora, resources needed to craft everything from medicine to food to equipment and weapons. Build outposts and hire a crew to passively extract minerals and establish cargo links. Transfer resources between them. Yeah, that actually makes it sound too much like that style, but I would think of it more like it'll still be very combat focused because it'll be, I'm just thinking of it in the vein of other Bethesda games. But yeah, that's a weird description actually. They're trying to make it seem like it's something other than what it actually is, or maybe... Okay, we can do the rush thing. Are we going to actually have an ability to do anything here is the big question. I could take a gamble on this stupid ass thing here. Or... I mean, it's not that I couldn't do this, it's just that it doesn't... Now, will I get that many back, or will I only get one? This is really fucking weird, actually.
Here we go.
Okay, so we keep around this stupid ass clown. Like, what kind of an interaction is this, man? Where we both keep getting those an infinite number of times, and just... what kind of a game is this? Now he'll play that a million times over and just kill me because unironically he can just do that.
Incredible.
But whatever, the treasure mechanic could have been fun. I think we only got one of them though, right? Unless I just missed it, or I don't really even know what would be considered that. So Rogue wants me down. He should have lethal because he would probably have about 9 of those, or even he only needs like 6 of them and then the stupid ass hero power, or like 7 of them. Gonna lose to a magma rager over here, but no, his board has just been too imposing where I can't really do anything about it. Or now my hand's gonna be cocked actually by this. Lost to a literal explorer's hat. Are you kidding me, dude?
My hand is too full.
Okay.
You're not a monster. I'm the monster.
Okay, that would be fine too. Holy Wrath would be fine. I don't know. After your attacks, draw a card.
Here we go.
I could have probably drawn it out a little more there, but I was kind of expecting to get carried by the treasure. Yeah, that didn't even come into play at all. Like, who gives a shit? Give your minions +2 attack. Wait, that's not what it used to do, was it? It was either like give it to one minion or give it to like a beast or something more specific than that. Let me read that again. Discover, collect, build. Explore planets and discover the fauna, flora, and resources needed to craft everything from... Oh, you know what game I actually want to play is that grounded one. The one where you're like miniature and you fight bugs and stuff. That looked kind of cool. Like, I played a very brief amount when it was like in early access and stuff, which it probably still is because these games always milk the shit out of that. I guess I could rotate back because I do want to play like 10 games here. So how many have we played? Like 6? I'd be fine with doing that. So let's just get to the 10 no matter what. The flora, fauna, and resources needed to craft everything from medicine to food, equipment, and weapons. Build outposts and hire a crew. Passively extract minerals and establish cargo links to transfer resources between them. It makes it sound like some kind of EVE Online economy sim type shit rather than an actual exploration one, but I'm sure it would have the ability to do that. They just don't want to. They don't want to make it sound too much like Fallout or whatever. Yeah, let's see if we can do that fun astral interaction. But the main thing I want to do is that innkeeper. That's the whole point of this one. But we'll go as this one till I lose. See, the novelty of everything gets worn off because it's like whatever you could do before, right, that you would work so hard to do sort of a theme or a gimmick. Now it'll just be done for you, or it'll be too easy, or not even saying it was ever worth it or was that good. So like, for example, I go through all this trouble to make some sort of like armor focused thing, or I combine like every druid armor card in the game, but now there's so many better ones that would make it trivial. So it's not even that I thought it was that good, or I'm upset that there's something better. It's that that mechanic was just specific. Like, I'm committing to it super hard. So it doesn't matter whether it's good or not. It's just, you can't even have that fun of like dedicating to something because it just gets completely pulled out from under you and there's just something 10 times better for the same purpose. But yeah, like even stuff like this, the only purpose was to gain armor and just to have as much of that sort of shit as possible. And it could be really annoying and last you out, and I would have like Tree of Life and like you're just really slow pacing them and stalling them out, and that was fun to play many years back before a lot of these newer cards were in there. So that wasn't really a style of play then because it wasn't worth it, or even if it was, it wouldn't have been quite like that. So this is a very old and antiquated kind of gimmick deck as well, as most of the ones that I've been using are. Most competitive games we'll have on the ladder are just going to be when they actually are chosen for us by Whizbang himself.
I cannot wait to read these.
Okay, so you got to figure a way to do something of value here, and I can't really seem to figure it out, or I'll just do that. Fuck it. But yeah, we have sort of both Cthunes in here too. This deck is a real mess just for the gimmick of that too. Like, oh, look how cool it would be if you combine both Cthunes, even though it doesn't really make sense. This one's a little more self-sufficient. The other one requires all this other stupid interactions, a very insular mechanic that I don't like. But you know, Cthulhu has to be one of the most contrived cards in the game, or in card gaming history, where it's just so specific. These cards work with that and only that, and just that's it. So it's too reliant and contextual. Why is everybody using this card back? I like the last guy.
How long can
I
you
think was using it too. Okay, what you have to do now is you can try to...
Move quickly.
I don't even know. Yeah, we want to get some of that crazy stuff later on that you can keep copying it over and over. Even if I do it to Malorn, I'd be fine with that too. Where you like use Splinter Graph to make him a 10-10. You can use it on like the Astral Tiger. So now it's a 10-10 that every time it dies, it shuffles back in your deck and it's still a 10-10. And then it does it over again. So you just have to bypass silence somehow. Or hope that they've used it already on everything else. And that can be a pretty fun interaction. And of course this works pretty well with that too. Just, you know, just to gain armor from the 10-10 hypothetically that you'd be using. We have Malorn and Malfurion coming up, but I have to figure a way to actually... I don't know, I guess I kind of need this here. Give me something I can actually use, speaking of the Astral Tiger there. The problem is you're not going to get a chance to actually do anything here. Right, like I'm going to be dead before anything happens. The AoE here would be pretty good. I never really used this other Cthulhu very much, or I don't think I used really either one, but I did use that one just because you kind of, I don't know, you feel tempted to try it out. The one that's very insular that I was just criticizing. Oh, here we go. Don't do this fucking shit that the hunter just did where you get like an infinite number of them back again and again. Okay, we could do this one, but it wouldn't kill it. So it almost makes me question it, but it's fine, I guess. So now we could do... You kind of want to do Malorn and just get in the swing of it. But either that or I get Splinter Graft and then I try to do something there. With respect to... Okay, I'm probably just going to lose though. Yeah, you waited for the perfect time for that. Why do you get so many different pictures of this shit, dude? Right minion, I guess we could do this just to try to get rid of some of these dinky 1/1s. That should work out kind of well. Yeah, see, he even sounds better there than he does on the hero avatar thing because he sounded a little more whispery there. I don't know why they fucked it up with the hero. Maybe they just wanted to make it sound different. But like they did that with Malagos, where they make him sound way too aggressive and crazy when he actually sounds pretty sophisticated in the actual game. And wow. Sure, he could be having like magic withdrawal or something in this version, but it just doesn't sound like him even at all. One thing like, oh, you couldn't get the voice actor, but you could always try to emulate. It was like Liquid Snake's voice actor from Metal Gear Solid something, which I've never played that series at all, so I wouldn't even know what that is or what that means, but... So here you have the ability to...
I have returned.
This is pretty cute, but doesn't really do me any good. And we could do Malfurion, which I probably should have already done by now. See what a lifesaver that is? Just that you gain 10 armor just like that. Or again, just buff something to a crazy attack value and whatever, like that infinite armor loop thing, which I don't think it involved this at all. It just, whatever, you could get like a billion armor with Guff. There was some deck like that for a while. He will keep coming back, but it's not valuable yet. Gonna get it to the point where between that and the Astral Tiger, he's not gonna have enough silence to deal with it, which maybe he would, but if you don't have that, then you're just gonna keep dealing with it forever. And you can't fatigue out, and you can't, you know, you can't really stop me from doing it.
I do love a good study session.
Okay. Man, this Libram shit is pissing me off, though. How many times you can do this, and there's nothing you can do about it?
My shield for Argon.
And even when you do it multiple times over and over, you get multiple copies of it back too, right?
My dream is your nightmare.
Shuffle those in your deck, fine. But again, that's almost what this is, like a slow-paced deck that you're going to take advantage of that, where you'll almost be top decking just to try to get the Astral Tiger over and over, to try to get Malorn over and over, all that kind of stuff. And you only have to do it once. Like if you do the interaction with Splintergraft, you'll be able to basically, you know, it'll be a 10-10 forever at that point. And some of these games just go on too long. Like we're obviously going to lose. Or his hand is kind of empty though, so maybe we won't. Ever seen somebody half asleep play Hearthstone? Fuck, dude. I'm just going to assume I have this shit on some other account because I'm too tired to even do this now. Whatever, we obviously lose this one.
I concede.
Or I guess I could just do that, like where I just concede a couple games, which goes against the whole spirit of this, but you know, if that would actually count towards the shit. Play 10 games, you'd have to play 3 more. What else could we do that would like be quick? Like what if we do a Tavern Brawl? Or did they get rid of it? Wait, where even is it? Oh, it's out here. Imagine hiding away Arena like that. Every bunny get in here. Celebrate the season by dying eggs. One will spawn each turn. You get 10 random class cards and a bunch of dice to help you catch something cute. Okay, let's try that. So this should still count as a game. So you could do 3 of these. Because I technically lost as all 3 of my things in terms of the rotation. So theoretically you shouldn't... whatever, you shouldn't be allowed to play any more than until next time. Kind of a good way to do it, kind of like the permadeath round robin that I do even in transform it into a random die. What do you call it? Giant egg, when it hatches, it gains poisonous. When it hatches, it gains +2/+2.
That's incredible.
Start of your turn, hatches into something cute. Hearthstone was ahead of the curve with the skull dead emoji, but there never even was a graveyard mechanic, so it's interesting to think about, like, that's where maybe it would theoretically go, but you just don't even get to see it. Even once it did become relevant, like with the resurrection type effects. +2/+2 if it's a bunny.
That's incredible.
I don't know what we're really saving this shit back for. Little magma rager equivalent here. Or slightly better, actually. Okay, hurry up, bro. But no, like, Tavern Brawls can be pretty fun sometimes, but the problem is you should be able to play like any one of them at any time. When it has just getting taunt, that's fine. Let's just go full face the whole time. This guy's easily impressed. Ah, yes, of course. We've never known that. But no, I mean, you should be able to sacrifice your stealth if you want to use taunt instead, which I guess you can do by attacking and stuff, but you should almost be able to choose that. It has both, so you get to say like which one supersedes the other, but it just kind of forces you. Like, what if they have a taunt and you don't want to attack into it and die, but you want yours to still be taunting back? There could be reasons why that's relevant, not to have to attack to unlock it. Okay, that's fine, but I don't really have anything here. I thought you were supposed to have other class cards and shit. All we have is this. We've gotten only these fucking things the whole time. Deal 3 if he kills it. Discover rune card. Both players draw 2 cards. Opponent cannot play them next turn. Deal 2 damage to all enemies. Deal 5. Okay, that's fine actually. Lifesteal, rush. I don't see the point of that.
I cannot reach that. That's incredible.
Lifesteal you can't really do. This dude looks like some sort of grumpy role player wearing a bunny's hat. Meet my reaction to Easter right there. Literally me on Easter. Like, I don't give a shit, dude. All these kind of gimmick days, overcompensations for the random contrived structure of everyday life that you have to overcompensate. Okay, come on, dude. Now the end of return hatch into something cute, because clearly that's the priority. Doesn't matter if it's good or not, it's just if it's cute or not. These games can go on a lot longer than what you would think. Like, this is a fucking little random tavern brawl. Or as soon as I complain and say that, he just resigns. But that should count towards the thing, right? 8 out of 10, so we can just do a couple more of these, even though you don't get anything for it. Let's just do them all as Death Knight, I don't care. For some reason, but I do like the idea of maybe doing a deck with that pumpkin head guy, Headless Horseman. Right, so you'd be able to use the first ever Death Knight hero card. Which it took them a while to actually do it. It's been like over a year, right? It was the end of 2022 that they introduced it. Okay, that's pretty worth keeping. That could win you the game right there. Transform into a random die. It's almost like you shouldn't keep those because you have so many in there that you're going to get them no matter what. So you should try to fish for something else. And then, including this very pissy-faced guy.
Most intriguing.
Yeah, you should be able to play any tavern brawl at any time from the past. And as long as you can matchmake and find other people, like, even if nobody's playing it, you can accept that, but at least give the option. Oh no, it splits the community, people say, but so what if it does? It's fine. It only splits them to the extent that, you know, if they don't want to play, then okay, fine, you go play something else, but... Matches gain Wind Fury. Yeah, we should do this till we lose 2, and then if we lose this, then I don't get to do that. The 10th one. 9 egg against Taunt, not a big deal. Okay, so it'll be Taunt and Rush.
You are not the boss of me.
When 4/1/1 undead with Rush and die at the end of the turn. Govern undead, quick draw, cost 2 less. I mean, you should do this pretty much no matter what. Give it poisonous, deal 2 damage to an enemy and your hero. End of your turn, you gain 5 corpses at the start of your turn. Spend 5 to give yourself plus 5 health. Wait. So, the thing with that is, could you keep doing it over and over? I don't think I've seen that interaction. So you can get like an infinite amount of health potentially. We have the Addams family at home. Addams family at home. Like, some of these are just like pun names. It's even how like they did the card design in PvZ Heroes. They'll just come up with some sort of pun to do with plants or zombies. A certain type of plant or whatever. The name and all that, and then they'll just fucking make that into a idea for a card. It's nothing more than that, really.
You gotta be kidding me! I don't wanna.
Xar's Imp, that's fine. One of the most random lore characters ever. He's just some random demon who happens to be in Karazhan, and it's like he had no lore or backstory to him. But yeah, he's the final boss of the raid, and then he also has Gorehowl for no fucking reason either. Like, he grave robbed the whole Manaroth encounter or whatever. He wasn't there, like, you don't see him in the cutscene, but that's where Gorehowl is left inside of his body. Alright, this is fine. We can go for this one, I guess. And then at that point, we can hit this. I kind of like the pace of this, that it's gone so slow. Like, they're not getting anything crazy values one way or the other. But no, that would stand to reason that you could almost... start of your turn, gain 5 at the start, at the end, or at the start. Wait. Oh, at the end, gain 5 at the start. Spend them to gain 5 health. No, it'd be interesting to see that you could just concede from every game and still get credit for that, because it doesn't really matter either. It's not like one of those that you're like... And anybody can just do that anyway, but... Cover Beast and Undead. Poisonous, Wind Fury, Divine Shield. Poisonous could be good because he'll be in a position where he can't really do anything about it. Because of the simple fact that whatever he summons now, I can really punish it. No, I want to see what the max health the game even allows you to have is. Maybe it can't go up to 3 digits, so it'll be like 99. Assuming this keeps giving you that, which we can actually see now if we get to 40. So either it'll cap out somewhere, or it'll just not let you do it over more than once here. Yeah, that is actually a crazier effect than I realized. Wait a second. Oh, that's fine too, I guess. Wind Fury, Poisonous, Rush.
I require more mana. Yes, Ma.
Let me see. Wind Fury.
Get him, Pa.
Yes, Ma.
I love it when some of these games feel like they're gonna take a fucking hour long, dude. Whoops, my internet crashed. I better concede real quick and get the credit for this. Holy shit. But no, that was pretty fun. Whizbang had a couple good showings. We got the double priest. We got some very cool ones from the actual souped up Whizbang. So those could be fun to do. I'll do it definitely this whole month now. April and so forth, and then we'll see at that point what I want to do. And maybe May, then I'll go to like Death Knight or something. Shaman, Death Knight. We still have we have Mage, Paladin, Shaman, Demon Hunter, Death Knight. I kind of want to go Shaman, Paladin, and then Mage. Since Mage will be similar to the Druid one we just did, we can space it out at least a little bit. Demon Hunter, Death Knight, then Rogue we could try to fit in somewhere too. Let's see what we can do here. Just go ahead and... Okay, fine. That was almost unnecessary because... whatever. Ever seen somebody half asleep play Hearthstone in 2024? Or no, wait, that wasn't the title. I'm too tired to even make the joke. Have you ever seen somebody play Hearthstone? No, wait. Ever seen someone half asleep play Hearthstone? Oh, right, it's 2024. Skull dead emoji, like as if to imply it's in such a boring state that everybody would be doing that all the time. You do have a pretty good health pool here. There are some weird differences and changes like in the formats. Like Renathal was still giving you 40 in this, but not in standard or something like that. What happened, bro? Hurry up. Summon random elemental and beast from your deck. You plagiarize Sonic over there. Alright, hurry up, dude, please. Clearly my health total should be intimidating you. Yeah, this is at least a very Easter themed fun thing, but I don't really care. Okay, you need to hurry up, bro. It could be a mistake to just go face so aggressively there, because if he does clear the board somehow, then we'd be in a bit of a pickle, but it should be fine. Especially with the Scourge thing going on. Go ahead, clear the board, then I'll do that, then you shouldn't be able to deal with it. A card like that is going to win you the game in a format like this, because all the other cards are just going to be shit. Summon a Noble Garden Egg. Okay, man, this is gonna be the most intense matchup we've ever seen, but getting to 40 health here was definitely a big boon, so I don't mind even trade. Okay, that's actually perfect. But now you'll see how beautifully I recover from that. That you're able to basically, well, at least want to trade like one thing in here. Let's see how he can possibly deal with that, and my assumption is he won't be able to deal with it. That is kind of like a busted card to have here in this sort of format, even though I didn't get the best pulls from that imaginable. 2 2-2s and 1-1-2 1-1s. And of course, even that is arguably a bad thing that I took it over, but... Oh, shit. Well, somehow you had the perfect response even to that, and again, I didn't get the best amount of thing. Deal damage to a minion equal to your corpses, okay. You do have the definite health advantage. Let's see what we get here. Lifesteal, poisonous. I mean, that's kind of stupid, isn't it? Like, it should at least consume them up to a point. Divine Shield, Lifesteal, Poisonous. Okay, let's just do all of them. I don't care. Come on, we should win now, but I don't even really care because we're not really playing for anything. I mostly am just playing for the sake of it to, whatever, get to 10 wins. For whatever reason, I just care about doing that right now. I can't remember if I got it on the other one or not, or who cares, but we at least showed what the format is going to be like for now, where I'll go through Whizbang and everything like that. Or that means he must be using the other thing? Or I don't know. Wait, no, you can't be using anything. It's just... I was gonna say like, oh, they're using the Whizbang thing, but they're not. Because this format isn't even like that. But now I just fucking lose. Speaking of like stuff that you can't do anything about. Like, how am I supposed... Oh, I guess that would be good because you would get the poisonous effect here. Didn't I do like Rush though too? Divine Shield, Rush, Poisonous, but it was still asleep. You gotta get rid of that 15-15. The problem is the health is still going to benefit them. And then I'll need like another... Oh my god, this is gonna take like all century. Lifesteal doesn't matter. Poisonous doesn't matter. I need like another poisonous myself to get rid of this stupid ass thing. Oh shit, yeah, make yourself easier. No. Oh, now I lose because you got way too much shit out there. Are you serious, dude? What the fuck? Well, at least it's over, so we'll do one more. Tutorial for tax evasion. I mean, tutorials for tax evasion shouldn't be done because they're illegal if you're discussing the topic of doing a tutorial for them. Or if you're asking for a tutorial of it, the best way to do tax evasion is just to not even make money in the first place, I guess. I don't know, it's not a very there is something wrong with taxing from this perspective of like, they'll make you pay taxes on everything and then pay it again, basically. It's like you pay sales tax, but then you also pay, you know, property tax, and then it's like, you know, there's supposed to be one layer of tax, not so many. Like, let's say, okay, I bought a house and I had to pay taxes on the purchase and all that, right? But then, whatever, we'll move on to the next one. But then when you sell it, you'll also have to pay taxes, and then you have to pay taxes every year, like property tax and school tax. Like, at some point, they're just overloading. Like, why do you need so many layers of the same exact thing? So that is definitely an issue.
Let the hunt begin.
Start of your turn, draw 3 additional cards. Okay. Yeah, you shouldn't really keep those. What else could we say about tax evasion? Like, I mean, a lot of people probably get away with it, especially like people who don't make very much money. I'm not saying whether that's good or not, but it's just kind of hard to judge it, I guess. Turn them into an owner's hand. Yeah, hypothetically, let's say we were talking about a short story or some sort of villain. Let's say they were trying to be in hiding, and how they would do it. How would they evade paying their taxes? I guess they would somehow have a fake identity. They would somehow not have anything in their name. They would make money illegally. They would, you know, make money under some false other identity or pretense. Those would be the ways that you have to do it, like living off the system. Which is interesting that that is such a hard thing to do. Like, let's say you want to do that. I want to live in a log cabin in the woods and just fend for myself. But this is the problem with modern society as far as closed structure contrivance, to the extent that, let's say you want to do that. There's nothing right or wrong with doing it. It's just a preference, but you would be very ostracized or vilified or prevented from doing it. Oh no, you're on a nature reserve, or oh no, you're stealing from the land, somebody else's land, or the government's land, or, you know, you can't do that for such and such reason. So that I do find strange. If you want to do that and fend for yourself, then so be it. It's like the village of 100 metric, to the extent that, oh, there's plenty to go around in the village of 100, but yet you overextend and overpopulate because of the stimuli acme and the lack of value for life, therefore mass producing, and everything mass produced suffers in quality as a result. So therefore you have that issue occur as preferred by the stimuli acme. Alright, hurry the fuck up, dude. Yeah, like living off the system or something like that would be a factor. Or I guess living within the system too. Like if you live on welfare, you don't have to pay taxes because you're getting free money from the government anyway. Or if you go to jail for tax evasion, now your problem is solved. You no longer have to pay taxes. So you're giving us like positive feedback. Your goal is to not pay taxes, let's say, in life. So you don't pay taxes, then you go to jail for it. Then you don't have to pay taxes, so you continue to go to jail. You live in jail, and you never have to pay taxes again. And you get free food and free this and free that. Like, it's some sort of sad commentary when people who are prisoners have better... have better conditions than maybe the lower class in a particular society. Let's see what we can do here. This is a win no matter what, because I get the 10th thing and the card back presumably, so I'm confused as to why that was such an issue. This shows you how crazy it is. Like, look how much energy or time I have to expend to play simply 10 games. And a lot of these are ending pretty quickly or whatever too, but... Okay, hurry up, dude. 10-gallon hat. Miniaturize battle cry, discover demons at assassin cost equal to this minion. Let's go for some kind of crazy effect. Or wait, oh fuck. That makes it worse. I guess it makes it better too, for the simple fact that you're able to play it earlier here now too. Yeah, I gotta update that poll with like other kind of games, and I gotta get rid of Chivalry obviously because he already did that. So I can do Starfield, that's fine. One thing I'm trying to avoid is actually buying games outright because I don't want to keep wasting money. Like, oh, you know, every week I'll buy a $60 game just to play it once, and then I'll never play it again just because that's normally how I am, or that's how that format is. Either that has a bias towards free to play type games, or it has the capability to basically south, you go here, just do them all, I don't give a shit. Empty out my hand. Still go face, that's fine. I'm probably gonna take off Fallout 76 actually because I don't want to. No, you know what, I won't, because what I'll do is I'll do a super slow-paced session of it, so it won't spoil anything anyway. But I'm just afraid it'll spoil stuff about Fallout 4 that, whatever, like, for somebody who really hasn't played. Yeah, maybe I will, I don't know. I gotta find some other titles I should put on there, and I'm not sure what else to actually do. Gotta be something that either is gonna be delisted soon, but if it is, then I would just do it anyway, because I don't want to miss a chance. Yeah, hurry up. I just feel bad for like conceding out, but it would still be a win-win no matter what. Anything you haven't played in a long time, but that's more for Wednesday. The Saturday one's more for like stuff I haven't played, like, period, which I guess technically that wasn't true. Technically that wasn't true with respect to Chivalry, like I had played before, but typically that's, I'm either trying to play something that's about to be delisted or go offline, because then I won't get the chance, or just something either new or whatever that just I haven't played, just so I get a chance to play it. And then I can always turn that into a series later on, but there's just way too many things I've left hanging like that. I could literally stream all day every day and never get to like every series that I already sort of left hanging or potentially open the door for, even if I don't play anything else new ever again. Or there's just way too many things, or even the way I play stuff is like super methodical and how like I play slowly and take my time and stuff. Like looking at Ark, for example. Whenever you draw a card, says toss attack, +2/+2.
I'm the perfect time for this.
What is all this shit? Normal for 2 turns, deal 3 damage.
I cannot reach that. Release me, and I will grant you a monstrous discount.
What is this again? 8 mana, but obviously we got it for 1. Deal 3 damage to all enemies at the end of your turn, which is pretty good, I guess. Like New World I played for the first time since it came out. That's actually a perfect example of that sort of mindset. Even though I wasn't doing that format at that time, or I wasn't even streaming at all at that time. That was right before I came back to streaming, I think like September 2021 or something, and I came back in October. So I had played New World then, and then I didn't play it all these years until now, and then I finally played it for only the second time. Like you play it once when it first comes out, then once before it goes offline, and that's like the whole story of your experience with the game. Like, what the fuck? So the whole thing here is I won't be able to ever get past this guy. Or maybe I would, but...
The Titans could use some chaos.
The 8/5 would be fine. So, like, if we go... like that, so at least it would be trading in that way, or I didn't, oh wait, fuck, I didn't even know my own lethal. Let's just look at that sexy card back here. 10-year anniversary, and it actually has the writing on there, which you might think is a little lame, but it opens the door for them to put the Legend Rank 1 thing that I was talking about them doing. Autumn Leaf, multiple favorites. It is pretty cool. I don't like how that tree goes off the side. That's always a pet peeve of mine. Thank you for an incredible decade of escapades. Required for participating in anniversary events. I just always keep checking this to see if the Ner'zhul one ever comes out. That'll give me a good reason to just like Ner'zhul on the armor, like before he merges with Arthas or even after. But you would rather have Porcelain Scarlet and all these dumb shit ones, but you won't have the true Lich King himself, the original OG Death Knight like Terran Gorfin. You'd rather have all this kind of dumb shit. But basically, that would give me an excuse to play Death Knight, even though I already kind of want to anyway. Now, this one wouldn't have to be in Wild, though. That's at least the thing. But it's kind of always more fun to play in Wild anyway. Okay, see you tomorrow. Or see you today, because it's already past midnight. Haha.